increase. And the voters' turnout increased significantly from 29% to about 37%. So with higher voter turnout, we got a massive increase of over 100%, and APNU got an increase of 6%. So the pattern is holding in all the areas. Massive increases for the PPP, APNU either losing votes or barely scraping another 82 votes here over the 2018, although you had a massive increase there. In Linden, again, so here the combined votes was 4,681 votes in 2018. In these elections,
guys, let's take a pin here for a moment. Just imagine the lies and the lies and the lies by this guy. After spending billions of dollars to dominate and win an elections that they haven't. Just imagine he's going through a list and comparing this list that they had 5 or 10 in 2018 and they get 150 now. It makes absolutely no sense, because at the end of the day, the local government elections was actually rigged in some of their stronghold areas. A lot of the people never gone out and voted for them. Why do you think, for a moment, that he sits there at this boring press conference? Absolutely. And what you're seeing is a different Jagdeo now, with regards to his mannerism, his personality. He is defeated. He's a defeated hog. That is what he is at this time. And so he's trying to save face. Of course, he's shameless, but he just wants to create this impression that they have done so well. They have lost the Buxton Falls. They have lost in other areas. And then he claimed that in one area, Platanka, I believe, they lost by 5 votes. But they, the party, they, corrupt PPP, was able to discover the 5 votes. But it's now up to GCOM to decide whether there's going to be a change. And if there is going to be a change, well, then there will be a tie. And if there is a tie, then there will have to be a runoff and all these manner of things. That is the nature of the guy. He has been defeated. Let me ask you guys this question. Let's be realistic. When was the last time have you guys ever seen Jagdeo looking, as Peggy Elias has said, so wounded as he is right now? He is wounded. Imagine for almost an hour now, he sits there at the press conference and those press people got to sit there and just say nothing. It's like you're in a classroom with a boring teacher or a boring professor or lecturer. You got to sit there and just go through this crap. Who wants to go through this crap? If people want to do this sort of comparison with what happened in 2018 and 2023, they will check on the GCOM website, which should have it out now, I hope. But look at the antics. Look, who cares about this? Baby Khan. Who cares about it, baby? He is a wounded wet cat. That is what he is. Wounded person right now. Let's head back to hear some more of the lies before we counter it.
The record of the PPP. And once again, I wish to thank all of the people who work to deliver these results, from the people who came to us and supported us. And let me assure them once again that I've seen the rumors or APNU rumor mill spreading a lot of lies, which I'll address in a moment. But let me assure them that every single promise made by us on the campaign trail, the reason we went...
Lies, all the lies. It's just a bunch of lies. I'm looking quickly at some of your comments. You just know this guy is lying off the top of his head. When was the last time you've seen him like this, a defeated cat? All over, look, their support base, the numbers do not lie. As Caesar would say, Caesar is the accountant, right? As Caesar would say, numbers do not lie. And those of you out there would admit that numbers do not lie at all. Not at all. This is a man who is defeated. Jamal Aziz, salam alaikum. A defeated man, and he doesn't want to accept that they've been defeated. He doesn't want to accept that a lot of their support base didn't go out. They didn't vote for them. They don't want to vote for Jagdeo and these guys. They just don't want to vote for Jagdeo. And so he comes there at his press conference, sits, hoping that he's going to confuse the electorate. And people are not stupid. People are not, including their own support base, are not stupid. Their supporters are walking away from them in large numbers. And that's precisely what is happening. He is there to save face. Why aren't we hearing from Irfan Ali? Why aren't we hearing from the others? It is because they have serious problems right now in the PPP. They're fighting amongst each other because Irfan Ali has a different view, unless he's being knocked on the head by Jagdeo to come out now and side with Jagdeo and lie. More lies. But Irfan Ali is very quiet. They're disappointed in the billions of dollars that they have spent to buy votes. And right now, the argument basically in Freedom House is, you see, we give them, quote, quote, ethnic group, we give them all the money. We do this for them. And look, they didn't come out and vote for the PPP as they expected. They expected a different turnout in constituency 13 in Georgetown. They didn't get it. They expected a different turnout in New Amsterdam. They didn't get it. They expected to win constituency 10, which is Alboiston, Charlestown area. They didn't get it. They expected to flip a seat in Linden. They didn't get it. And even with the hundreds of millions of dollars that they spent and the millions upon millions of dollars they spent in buying certain people out in Linden, it didn't happen at all. They didn't flip any seat. In fact, the votes increased for the coalition in Linden and other parts of Guyana. Just imagine, though, and you guys know my position on the APNU not contesting all the other areas. Just imagine if APNU had contested in other areas where they have large amount of PPP support base. I am almost certain that in a couple of those areas, APNU would have won as well. But that's another issue. Hope they get themselves in order, put their house in order, and contest maybe the next local government elections in all areas, including Latin, that was made into a beautiful town under the coalition. But let's get back to this defeated wild animal. Let's hear some more of the lies.
We want to, in a lot of areas. They probably have less because they didn't win in so many areas. So the party is mobilized, ready, excited.
Lie. Just check out his facial expression. The party is, and he paused, because he knows that the party is defeated. He should understand that. He knows that. But of course, he's not going to come outright to tell you guys that. This local government elections for the PPP has been a major embarrassment to all of them. And so they're going to come out and say, oh, they have increased from 5 votes to 102 votes. Oh, it's an attempt to brainwash the people. But the people are smarter than that. You guys are way smarter than that. Their support base is way smarter than that. They're not buying these lies coming out of the mouth of Barra Jagdeo. They know that they have lost this local government elections. And let me show you guys this. If I spend $8 billion on something, $8 billion on something, as they have spent on this local government elections, including, of course, the back to school cash grant, the elections money, including that, $8 billion, and I get this sort of return, but something is wrong with you, Jagdeo. You've got to do the math. If you spend $8 billion in something, then you got to be in total control. You should have been in total control of Linden, total control of New Amsterdam. You could have won constituencies 10, 13, and other constituencies in Georgetown. But no, you didn't. You didn't, not even 10, not even coming close to 13. It's an embarrassment. $8 billion and got back $1 million in return, and you consider that a good investment. What sort What sort of economist is this idiot? What sort of economist is this guy? I mean, you guys see where I'm coming from, right? $8 billion invested in a local government elections. 8 billion, and you got back 1 million, and you call that a success story. You call that a success story, right? Come on, come on. And then he's going through his papers. Who wants to sit at a press conference? Look at him going through papers, and he's sitting there. You know, I wouldn't even be at such a press conference. I can just imagine that those media persons there are just falling asleep. They can't take it. They are falling asleep. Look. Let me hear you. You're flying now. You know, look.
Didn't walk the ground, didn't support Norton, and now talks about, in a very lofty style, but full of fluff, in about this. He's positioning himself to tackle Norton very soon. And you recall Mai Paul and Roysdale Ford trying to get the treasurer to undermine Norton with a blank check issue. So I expect the hungs to go after Norton now.
All right, let's take a pin there for what he's trying to say there now. He expects the Hungs to go after Norton now. Now you see the politics that he's playing there now. He would be feeding on the sort of division that he anticipates. I hope that whatever problems they have in the APNU, that it's going to be dealt with professionally amongst themselves, and don't fall for this trap coming from Jagdeo. So he's mentioning these names. Oh, they're going to go after. What is that of any relevance or any importance to Jagdeo, who goes after Norton or not? You see the kind of childish and dotish politics he's playing. But he's not going to tell you guys that Irfan Ali doesn't really want him around. He's not going to tell you guys that Mark Phillips has problems with him. He's not going to tell you guys that Edgil, they have problems with him. And majority of the few black folks they have around them there in the PPP have serious problems with him. He's not going to tell you that Anil has problems with him. He's not going to tell you that the puppet that he put there has problems with him. He's not going to tell you all these sort of things, right? So he wants to pull down the shades, pull down the curtains as to the big problems that they're having at Freedom House right now, that they nearly bulldoze and chop up each other. He's not going to tell you about that, but he's going to come and he's going to sit there and tell you who's going to go after Norton and who is this, the Mahi Paul and Roysdale Ford and Chris Jones. Nobody wants to hear that. That is none of your business, Jagdeo. It's none of your business. Tell us about how you've lost the local government elections. Tell us about how you've rigged certain parts of Guyana in this recently concluded local government elections. Tell us about that. That is what we want to hear. If you have issues and you like some men within the coalition and you want these men to be fighting amongst each other because it gives you a little fuel and a little mileage, save that for some other gap. Not today. I'm not going to accept that today at all. I'm not giving him a passing grade on this at all. He's not getting a passing grade at all. He is a downright loser. Look, we got some losers coming on. They can't take the pressure, you know. You gotta be careful with people and emotions and people who can't take pressure and things. Mikel is one of them. They're coming and they're cussing and oh God, they can't take the pressure. And when they can't take the pressure, you throw them right away in the gutter. That's where they belong. Now let's go back and hear what Tanti Moral has to say, because I do not intend to spend much longer on this loser.
About our great success in many of their strongholds in South Georgetown. I've given you the numbers. And they said that we were rescinding contracts to people. And they spread another rumor that we're going to fire all the part-time workers. We never asked the part-time workers like they would have done, bully them into voting for the PP. We hope they'll vote PPP because they got a job under the PP that they didn't get under APNU. Not a job, but that's why you're here. You provide jobs to people, you provide better.
It's not jobs you provided for people. It's the kind of It's basically contract to go and clean gutters. And then when you give them those contracts to go and clean gutters, they want to own those individuals. So those people are not independent to go and sign up through the ministry and get a contract. Nothing is wrong with contracts. It's taxpayers' monies. But when they give these little contracts to individuals to clean gutters, clean drains, clean toilet, clean latrine, and these sort of things, they want to own them. They want to control them as though those people are slaves. And the people caught on with them with their tricks. The people took the money and the people didn't vote for them. And the truth of the matter is they're pulling back on the contracts that they have given to those people. So Jagdeo is just basically trying to cover up everything. And I tell you guys this, he's not doing a good job at that at all. He's just not doing a good job with that at all. And so again, I don't give him a passing grade. He's not getting a passing grade. He gets below an F for me from this because he's lying his pants off. And you could tell that he's battered. You can tell that he's defeated. You can tell that he has lied so much that he doesn't even know where to continue with the lies. Listen to this guy. Listen to him. Listen to the lies.
On these people's contracts so that they can convert them into their own use. And we know what they've done in the past. They will not have that. And we not allow them to bully and intimidate the voters. I've had calls some people. Look at what they tried to do without the leader of our list from London, who's a doctor and a pastor. They tried to vilify him every day, urge people not to go to his church, and all sorts of things, threaten him personally. And he stood his ground. This was before the election. He stood his ground.
Stood his ground for what? Isn't this the same guy who locked up people, who hoods the police and people and opposition candidates, opposition supporters to lock them up? So what is wrong with people if they say in Linden, and rightfully so, don't vote for him. Don't vote for that, whoever it is that is a pastor. I don't even know. They got all these pastors these days. I might as well become Pastor Benjamin. Sorry about that. And so, and when you listen to him now, as though he cares about those people in Linden, look at what they did to that young lady, I believe, Smith from Alnis Village, the chairman for Hochstyle area. They locked her up. They locked her up for one night, put that candidate, that APNU candidate, that woman on the bench. Put her on the bench for one night. Locked her up from 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 5 o'clock the next day. So this guy, this person has no moral authority to talk about intimidation when he basically put the police and to go after candidates of APNU and so forth. Look at the other candidate in the South area, constituency 14. Look at what they did to that guy. I believe his first name is Dexter. Look at what they did to him. Locked the guy up for 72 hours, all because the guy said something to that parking meter lady. Locked the guy up, Dexter Forte or something, for 72 hours. Locked him up. But yet this chap sits there and is lying and lying and lying. And if you don't know him, some people who don't know him will believe the lies, but not we at all. As the new saying is in Guyana, we big and we get sense. Let's hear some more of the lies before we go, because we're just getting tired of his lies.
Change the residency requirement, but it could be the notes that I got because they just concluded their press conference. I don't expect him to be that silly, but if he actually said that, watch if he said that, then put it down as the ranting of a madman for that, if he actually said that. Now, I wanted to talk a bit about Cathy Hughes. Suddenly she emerged, Cathy Hughes, and laughing. She did an op-ed, I don't know in which paper or where, laughing on the outside, crying on the inside. PPP's contrived happiness attempts to conceal defeat in local government elections. Can anybody ask this person if he has a modicum of integrity? We're concealing our defeat in the local government elections. The APNU, the AFC, which was quietly campaigning, I'm just telling you, all the others telling people to vote for APNU. They did this everywhere in our strongholds, etc., thinking that the support that they got in 2015 would have somehow rubbed off and gone to APNU. It did not happen. They were busy campaigning, although they said they're not contesting, but they did not want to split the vote. And that is something else. In Georgetown, in 2018, we won in some areas because there was a split of the votes between the two. Here we won outright in some of these constituencies, the 5 constituencies, outright in a face-to-face contest with APNU.
Here is for almost approaching an hour, over an hour, and the media personnel, they have to sit there and accept these lies. I don't know what's happening, but we can't. Now he's gone to Cathy's, he's gone, and Cathy's, what he said, has no moral authority, no whatever, coming from a guy who is accused of corruption, who is accused of racism, who's accused of harboring phantom squad that killed hundreds of people, including 3 persons out there in Linden who were slaughtered under the PPP regime. And he's talking about people and credibility. I don't know about you guys, but I've had enough of Roseanne. I've had enough of him or Roseanne and Roseanne's lies. I can't stomach it any longer. I've got to go. Shame and a disgrace. He has been defeated in the local government elections. He knows it. Defeated. A shameless, defeated hog. He doesn't want to accept his defeat. So he's all over the place with a bunch of papers, 2018, this, and, I'm sorry, guys, that I had to put you guys through this. But before I go, I want you guys to know that he got an F grade from me. He has failed at this press conference. Usually, you would expect he comes out there lashing and tinging it. He has failed at this press conference, as he has failed at all of his other press conference. But this press conference, he's a little bit different. Seemed cloaked up, seemed afraid, ashamed. And so he has to find other stuff to talk about and numbers, and that they have failed. Anybody who spends $8 billion plus in a campaign and got back $1 million in return is a failure. Jagdeo and the PPP has failed the people of Guyana, including their own supporters in this just concluded local government elections. All right, enough of that. We've got to go, though. We're done with him. God bless you all. See you guys this evening at exactly 9 o'clock. Tata.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.